Hello friends, today I am going to talk to you about a very important concern in the healthcare industry, that is related to the informed consent. It is basically about the consent form which is given to the participants and the patients when they are undergoing any kind of clinical trials or any kind of medical treatment. It is a very vital step for such kind of processes. Why this happens is because the participant has the very right to know about what kind of procedures and risk and benefits it is involved in the experiment. The history behind the informed consent, it goes back to the Nazis concentration camp, in which the doctors used to treat the Polish prisoners very badly and involve them in a lot of experiments, which led to the historic Nuremberg trials in during the Second World War, which led to the formation of Nuremberg Code in 1949. It basically states what kind of minimum code of conduct and guidelines should be followed by such kind of researchers or medical practitioners when they're treating patients. But still there were many loopholes of in this kind of code, which led to many adverse incidents, especially for an example we can take as there was one incident in which specially able children were used for the experiment of hepatitis in human beings. So basically they were injected with hepatitis virus to see how the hepatitis virus interacts with the human body. This was also kind of very unethical and immoral medical practice, but there were many further developments in the field of medical sciences, and this led to the formation of the Belmont report for the researchers. However, still there are a lot of misconceptions still which are lying till today. The patient always feels victim of such kind of processes, and he just feels that it's a just legal signing document for the release of many medical negligence or mishaps. And lately the process just seems to be a protection document for surgeons and medical practitioners, and hence patients have lost faith in the medical profession itself. The inefficiencies in the process of this consent form is basically because of the language barriers, which creates misunderstanding in the patients regarding the process, and this leads to the signing of the form without them actually understanding what is there in the experiment. A study also has been conducted which suggests that 69% of the participants have failed to understand what is there in the consent form before they actually sign it. There are also problems related to the procedures that the research actually encompasses. There also can be many religious beliefs which do not permit the patients or practitioners to undergo such kind of experiments, but the researcher may not have thought about that, so he involves those patients, with the patient not being aware of this kind of experiments. Apart from this, the patients can also have exaggerated expectations from such kind of clinical trials. For example, let us take about a example for the cancer drug. So in a cancer drug, the patients may face a lot of stress, and due to which he may have very high hopes out of the cancer drugs, which may not turn into. So because of the high discrepancies between the outcomes and the expectations, the patients tend to not measure the actual risk and benefits involved in the experiment, and because of no quantified data, they have such high hopes, and which the doctors may not be able to satisfy. So in order to gain validity about the consent form, it should be the primary focus of such researchers or doctors or practitioners. They should build a trust between the patients. So the ideal decision making process for a patient should be that when he's being treated, the physicians should make them aware of the complexity, consequences and risk involved in such kind of practices and procedures and other details, so that the patient knows what is going to undergo. Also, the practitioners can make extra efforts to remove misunderstandings which are because of language barriers through the help of the translators, or making them understand and give more explanation time, so that they completely understand what they are going to undergo with a open mind, and this becomes a win-win situation for both of them. And hence we can conclude that we can remove one ethical dilemma which are there in the patients, and they can again regain back the faith they have in the medical profession. That's all from me, and thank you. Bye.